Have you ever wondered how to unlock Allah's endless blessings and rizq in your life? After Tahajjud, a special Qur'anic verse, holds the power to open doors of sustenance instantly. In this video, discover the profound verse, its meaning, and how reciting it with sincerity transforms your rizq and life. 1. Tahajjud, the time of sincerity and divine connection. Tahajjud, the voluntary night prayer, holds a unique position in Islam because it occurs during the quietest hours of the night, when worldly distractions are at their minimum. This sacred time is when the human heart is naturally more humble, focused, and receptive to spiritual connection. Scholars and spiritual guides emphasize that Tahajjud is a time when a believer can establish an intimate dialogue with Allah, away from the hustle of daily life. The serenity of the night allows the soul to reflect deeply on personal needs and desires, including sustenance, well-being, and guidance. Tahajjud is not merely an act of worship. It is an opportunity to cultivate sincerity in one's supplications. At this hour, prayers are more likely to be heard and accepted because they are made in a state of complete humility, detachment from material distractions, and with a heart fully present before Allah. This makes Tahajjud an ideal time to recite Qur'anic verses associated with blessings and rizq. 2. The spiritual power of Qur'anic recitation. Reciting the Qur'an is not only an act of worship, but also a powerful spiritual tool that shapes the mind, heart, and life circumstances. Every verse of the Qur'an contains guidance, divine wisdom, and potential blessings that affect different aspects of a believer's life. When a verse is recited with reflection and understanding, it creates an energy of faith and hope within the heart. The Qur'an's verses, especially those related to sustenance and provision, are like keys to opening doors of rizq. The recitation is more effective when coupled with focus, contemplation, and belief in Allah's promises. This is because Allah's words carry both spiritual and practical significance. They remind the believer to act righteously, spend in charity, and rely on divine support. The repeated practice of reciting Quranic verses transforms not just the spiritual state, but also influences one's worldly circumstances, often leading to unexpected blessings, opportunities, and solutions to financial or material challenges. 3. Surah Saba 34-39, and its profound meaning. The verse وَمَا أَنفَقْتُم مِّن شَيْءٍ فَهُوَ يُخْلِفُهُ وَهُوَ خَيْرُ الرَّازِقِينَ holds a powerful message for those seeking divine provision. Literally translated, it means, "And whatever you spend in the cause of Allah, He will replace it, and He is the best of providers." This verse reminds believers that every act of giving, whether charity, helping others, or supporting religious causes, is not a loss, but an investment in spiritual and material growth. The verse emphasizes Allah's role as the ultimate provider. Human efforts, skills, and endeavors are important, but the final blessing and return come from Allah. When recited with sincerity, especially after Tahajjud, it reinforces a believer's trust in divine provision. It strengthens faith that wealth and resources are not fixed or limited. Allah's bounty is abundant and replenishing. The promise embedded in this verse assures the believer that sincere giving opens the doors of rizq in ways that go beyond human imagination, whether through unexpected opportunities, ease in financial matters, or spiritual abundance that attracts worldly blessings. 4. Gratitude, trust, and the flow of rizq. One of the key principles of receiving rizq is combining trust in Allah with genuine gratitude. Gratitude, shukr, acts as a magnet for blessings. When believers acknowledge Allah as the ultimate provider and remain thankful for every bit of sustenance they receive. They create a spiritual atmosphere in which rizq naturally flows. Gratitude amplifies the effects of Qur'anic recitation and dua because it aligns the believer's heart with divine generosity. Trust, tawakkul, complements gratitude by teaching the believer to rely on Allah's wisdom in timing and manner of provision. Even if immediate results are not visible, faith in Allah ensures patience and continued effort. This balance of trust and gratitude is essential because rizq is not only about material wealth, it also includes health, peace of mind, opportunities, and spiritual growth. Reciting Surah Saba 34-39 after Tahajjud cultivates this mindset. It reminds believers that their acts of charity and devotion will always be returned manifold by Allah, fostering a continuous cycle of giving, receiving, and spiritual satisfaction. 5. Consistency and sincerity, the secret to lasting blessings. Consistency in recitation and sincerity in prayer are crucial elements for unlocking long-term blessings. It is not the quantity of recitation that matters most, but the depth of devotion and focus behind each recitation. Reciting Quranic verses sporadically or without reflection often yields limited spiritual benefit. However, incorporating Surah Saba 34-39 into a daily tahajjud routine establishes a rhythm of faith, devotion, and trust in divine provision. Sincerity ensures that every recitation and dua is made from a heart free of doubt, worldly distraction, or impatience. It strengthens the connection between human effort and divine response. Over time, this regular practice cultivates a believer's inner resilience, spiritual awareness, and readiness to recognize the subtle ways rizq manifests, whether through opportunities, connections, or sudden financial ease. In essence, consistency and sincerity create a sustainable spiritual framework where divine blessings are not occasional but a regular part of life, encouraging believers to live with confidence, hope, and faith in Allah's endless mercy. May Allah bless you with abundant rizq, open doors of endless opportunities, and grant you peace and prosperity. If this video inspired you, share it, subscribe to Pious Deen, and comment Ameen as a prayer for yourself and others. Let's spread blessings together.